Here we go. So this is now really tight. Now this will help you understand the situation even better. Here is the Galwan River. It comes and meets the Shyok River. This is the point of confluence. These are the bases of the Indo-Tibetan Border Police. This is the DSDBO road. The problem with the Chinese sitting here is that they overlook the Indian road. And that, if you remember our coverage from the Kargil war, is a big problem, because if you're sitting on the heights overlooking the road, you can, with the help of mortars or with the help of artillery, dominate that road. And this road is very crucial, because I showed you it goes up to Daulat Beg Oldie, which is a very, very crucial strategic Indian road, which ultimately also helps us send our logistics and equipment for the Siachen Glacier. So dominating this road, which at this moment is the only road we have in this area, attempts are being made to make another road, but that's a different matter. Right now, this is the only road there is, impacts our ability to service the Siachen Glacier. So this is broadly what we've been able to try and put together to give you a sense of why the Chinese being here, overlooking the DSDBO road, is so problematic. I want to go first to Rohit Vats. He helped us, as I said, bring these maps together. So Rohit, thank you for the effort that you made, and welcome to India today. I want you to give us some sense of the lay of the land. Shyok, as I read in your very interesting piece, is called the river of death. Explain why it's the river of death, and explain why the Chinese being where they are is so problematic. Rohit.
Okay. So, see, historically, Leh has been the center of, all the caravans that used to go from Ladakh region to Yarkand and Kashgar in the Xinjiang province of China. And there were two main routes that you could take from Leh to reach these destinations. Now, the winter route was along the Shyok River, where you went from Leh, crossed the Changla Pass on the Ladakh range, went down to Darbuk, then Shaik village, and then primarily along the alignment of the Shyok River, you exited at a point called Margo, and then to Depsang Plains, DBO, Karakoram Pass, and further on to Yarkand or Kashgar or Hotan. That is what it was. The other route was the summer route, which used to go from Leh across Khardungla to Nubra Valley, Sasoma, Sasirla, and then again, to Margo, and henceforth to Depsang Plains, DBO, and the Karakoram Pass. Now, interestingly, why the Shyok route was the winter route was because during the summer season, now Shyok is fed by multiple glaciers, and during the summer season, the river used to has the water level in the river is very high, and it flows in multiple channels. So the caravan had to cross the river at multiple points, along the route, and which used to take its toll in terms of men and material. So hence, it got the name of River of Death. So nobody, unless until it was, an emergency, nobody would take this route during the summer season.
And this is also where, in this general area, the 1962 war also saw some episodes play out in roughly the same general area. Tell us a little bit about that.
During the 1962 war, very interestingly, the battle that happened between the Indian Army and the Chinese happened towards the mouth of the river. In your map, the general map, where you have the Galwan River pointer, where the river takes a turn, takes a very sharp U-turn. There is a place called Samjungling. It was a Chinese base in that area, and as part of a forward policy, we had some troops which were pushed into this area, who established a post very close to the Chinese post, and post that of course, when the Chinese attacked us on 20th October 1962, that post was wiped out. There was a very stiff battle over 24-hour period. We suffered very large casualties, 38 men out of 68 of Alpha Company of 5 Jat under Major H.S. Hasabnes was wiped out. The company commander was taken POW, and that was the end of action in that particular area. Interestingly, even during in the period prior to 1962 war, the patrol which went up to establish that post, that went up from the hot springs area, because going up the Galwan area was considered to be extremely difficult because it is a very narrow gorge. and it was almost considered impossible to go up that gorge, and a patrol was sent from the hot springs area to establish that post.
Broadly,
So
if my
after that action
understanding is
happened-
correct, since 1962, for the large part, this entire valley has been quite peaceful. Unlike, say, what's happening in Pangong, where there are virtually every year some differences between the patrolling parties and they come face to face. In this area, largely, it's been peaceful, and therefore there is actually only one LAC and there's no differing opinion about where the LAC runs from, Rohit?
Yes, because after that action happened, there has been no action in this area, and the Chinese, they pushed their LAC as far west as possible because they wanted to occupy the highest possible ridgeline in this area. And in this section of the Karakoram range, which is Galwan River is one possible access point that can go from Shayok towards the Aksai Chin, where Chinese have their main infrastructure. So they did not want that to happen because their ultimate aim was to establish a claim line which passed through all the mountains and ridge lines, which gave maximum depth to their highway, the G219, which runs through Aksai Chin and then of course their part of Tibet.
So
they pushed it as far west as possible, and today it runs along this ridge line in the area. And this is where it has been for all these years, and there has been no activity in this area so far.
So that's
That is why I
very
feel
interesting
surprising.
what Rohit's put together in terms of the history of this area and how it's been peaceful so far. Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kanwal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.